You can't lie, as soon as you heard Emilia is the witch's daughter in Rezero, the first person you turned to was Satella. Other than her being the first witch we were introduced to, the fact that they look almost identical, it seems like the perfect match. There are so many things pointing to these two either being the same person or related that it isn't possible to think otherwise. Such as how they look alike, the fact that they're both half-elves with silver hair, and their infatuation with Subaru. So when we hear people calling her the witch's daughter, it immediately sparks into our brains. Another thing that might have influenced this was the fact that everyone else in Rezero saw her this way as well. It wasn't a good thing for her since she's been being judged due to being similar to a big bad evil that once almost destroyed the world, but this theory is what most of us thought was the case. Though this theory was completely ruined shortly after due to one reason. As for what that reason was, is that it was said that Emilia is a half-elf with her father being an elf and her mother being a human. At first glance this doesn't sound bad, but when you learn that Satella is actually a half-elf as well, it doesn't make much sense. Even though they are extremely similar, this fact throws it off. I'm not saying that it's impossible for this to be the case, but it's just not likely. The next person I hear some people think it is Sirius. This might sound weird, but due to the similarities in their hair and eyes, she seems like a candidate. Until you hear that Fortuna specifically said that Emilia inherited her father's eyes and hair color. The trait she's said to have gotten from her mom was her gentle face. We obviously can't see Sirius's face to compare this, but we have reason to believe that she's not due to those similarities. This would also be the case for Satella if this fact is true. Other than these two more I considered was Pandora, but she was quickly crossed off after learning that Emilia's mother is dead, and that Pandora was responsible. Then Echidna, who actually seems like she could be it due to how she acts towards Emilia. Even though she claims that she hates Emilia, she not only sent Puck to watch over her, helped her remember and face her past, but also shed genuine tears for her. She claims it was due to how she personally knows Emilia's mother, and says that she's as stubborn as her, but you can tell that she actually cares for Emilia. For those reasons, she seems like she could be her mother. Now, for a character that fits to a lot of what I said, is Minerva. Among all the others, she kinda stands out. A lot of stuff points to her, and this would explain the events that happened between her and Emilia. Back at the tea party, she didn't want Emilia to look at her face for some reason. Even though this was the case, she was also caring, giving Emilia a hug and talking to her. The whole time, she was trying to strengthen Emilia's resolve and make sure she was okay. Doing just like Echidna, saying she knows Emilia's mother well, and that the side of Emilia that says that she could keep going because she knows that she's not alone is nothing like her mother's. At first I wasn't fully on board with this until I connected the dots that not only does Minerva have a gentle face, but also if we look at her backstory, supposedly she was killed while trying to save some elves that were being used as bait. They don't say where this happened, but this could connect to the other half of the story in which we know that Emilia's parents were killed and that her mother had something to do with the seal, meaning it happened in the forest. And for Minerva's part, unless the elves were brought to somewhere else, it would only make sense that it happened in the forest. But the part that makes this theory odd is that Fortuna claims that Pandora was responsible. This makes it weird because it's said that Minerva was killed by the Witch of Envy. This could just be a lie, but this puts this theory in a weird spot. I think two things could be the case. Either, like I said, this is a lie, or when Fortuna says that she was responsible, it doesn't mean that she killed them, but instead could have led to the Witch of Envy killing them. Like how she made Patelgus kill Fortuna. We know she has this type of power, and I think these two events could be connected. Who is Emilia's mother is hard to crack because even though it gets narrowed down with Emilia being called the witch's daughter and some details to help cross some people out, there are still a few choices. If we look personality wise and with some of the descriptions, she is close to Minerva, since Fortuna says Emilia is just as pushy, hubristic, complacent, egotistical, and hypocritical as her mother. Minerva is all of those things, seeing as she punches people to heal them. But let me know your theories down below, like and subscribe for more.